so Mike can get in.
There's a gap over here on the right.
Hey, Mark.
Big enough for him?
Oh, man. Let them squeeze through and move the one on the right, don't move both the two on the left.
You see and hear me? Mic check 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Awesome. Cool. Thanks, Gabby.
Let her climb over here. Yeah, please. Just a bit.
Whenever you guys are all set, just let me know, we'll get rolling. You all good? Yeah, you guys good? You guys good? All right, give me a second. You said a second. Yep. All right, guys ready? Two-man show. What's that? Oh.
Good afternoon. I am Cuyahoga County Prosecutor Michael O'Malley. Next to me is Assistant Cuyahoga County Prosecutor Ryan Bokach, who is Supervisor of the Crime Strategies Unit. I don't have to tell anybody who lives in Cuyahoga County, in particular the city of Cleveland or the inner-ring suburbs, the problems we have been having with dirt bikes and ATVs running wild within our community, disregarding traffic laws, putting other motorists in danger. Several weeks ago, we saw them take over I-90, a four-lane highway with their insanity. But one of the issues that's driving this problem, it has come to my attention, is the fact that we're having a problem with our community where the dirt bikes and ATVs are being stolen, where people are being lured into the city of Cleveland, and through lack of understanding of the situation they have placed themselves in, they're having their bikes, their dirt bikes and ATVs stolen out from underneath them. After that incident several weeks ago that was highlighted on the local news media where they took over I-90 with hundreds of bikes, it came to my attention that since January of 2020, within the city of Cleveland, we have had 90 dirt bikes and ATVs stolen. This past weekend, 3 more people were lured to the city of Cleveland from out of state. I believe 2 of them were from Pennsylvania and 1 was from Michigan. And it goes to some of the numbers we're going to highlight here, but the fact is that we had 3 people lured to Cleveland from out of state. And I can understand how people from out of state don't understand the risk they put themselves in. But all 3 of these individuals brought the dirt bikes to the city of Cleveland. The alleged purchasers offered them more money to, in fact, deliver the bikes. And what inevitably happens is that they give them an envelope, oftentimes with counterfeit money, or they allow themselves to be lured into believing that when they allow these people to do a test drive that these people will return. But what we're seeing is that when the people take the test drive, they ride the dirt bikes and the ATVs into the sunset, never to be seen again by their lawful owner. And again, I want these individuals apprehended. So I was balancing whether to have this conference today and risk more people being lured to the city of Cleveland this upcoming weekend, or making the public announcement And I weighed down on making this announcement today because I don't want to see any more people lured to Cleveland with the belief that they're going to get their dirt bikes sold or their ATVs sold and being robbed again. And again, you can see from our stats, and I'm going to turn this over to Ryan Bokach in a minute, but what we had this past weekend, let me start there, is that we had one occur on Saturday in the 5th District on Malden Road. We also had two that occurred on Sunday, both on Lamont Avenue. All three of these sellers used Facebook Marketplace and were lured to the city of Cleveland. And Ryan's going to go into more stats on the use of Facebook Marketplace, but you have to be wary on social media of not just Facebook Marketplace, of any place. And it's critical, and that's what we're trying to do today, is to the public that you have to make the determination of where it is safe for you to sell your dirt bikes. And don't be lured by the promise of additional monies. You need to set the stage for where you're going to do a transfer of your merchandise. Again, do not take more money to deliver it. You control the location. I'm going to now turn it over to Ryan because he's going to reveal some startling statistics that you can see here, and then I will again follow up. Ryan?
Thank you, Mike. Again, my name is Ryan Bokach. I'm the supervisor of the Crime Office, and the unit was first developed in 2015 as a way to better understand the nature of the crimes as well as some of the crime drivers that are operating in the community. Our unit sort of acts as a central hub for a lot of different law enforcement agencies to share information. We've been expanding. We've recently got some federal funding to assist us with that, as well as money that Mr. O'Malley was able to procure as well. Our unit consists of analysts, researchers, and prosecutors that are using an intelligence-driven approach to solve crime. What our unit has noticed in working with our law enforcement partners with these 90 thefts, at least 90 thefts that have occurred since the start of 2020, 83 of those 90 transactions used Facebook Marketplace. And that's not to tell people that one platform is safer than the other. A suspect could certainly switch up what platform they're using, but that's the vast majority. 83 of those 90 have used Facebook Marketplace to lure their victims. 41 of the victims, at least 41 of the victims, traveled from outside of Cuyahoga County in order to make what they hoped was a sale. 33 of those 41 actually came from out of state, as Mike highlighted 3 this past weekend, but that's something that we've seen time and time again, people coming from outside of the state. Our victims' ages have ranged all over, but they've been as young as 16 years old that have come up here to sell those bikes or ATVs. And in at least 26 of those 90 incidents, the suspects used some type of counterfeit money or fake money to have somebody hold. So what they would do is, here, hold this while I ride your dirt bike, test drive it, and then by the time the victim has realized that they've been handed fake cash, the suspect is well gone. At least 4 of the incidents, we know a firearm was used, but these suspects will steal the bike as easily as possible. If they can get onto it without having to brandish a firearm by just letting a test ride, they'll do that. If they can hand you fake cash to get on the dirt bike, they'll do that as well. But we know people were armed in at least 4 of these incidents. There's 69 of them are dirt bikes, 21 of them are ATVs, and these are primarily occurring in Cleveland's 3rd District and 5th District. There are some specific hotspots, and without getting too into detail about exact addresses or anything like that, we also want people to know that anywhere in Cleveland, if you're meeting somebody, you're not familiar with the area, you're not from this area, don't consider anywhere to be a safe spot. I'll now turn this back over to Prosecutor O'Malley, who has some other remarks.
Again, as you can see from the map, we had a real hot spot where 25 of the bikes were stolen in the area of Glacier Avenue off the Broadway. off Broadway Avenue in the city of Cleveland. That's one location. Obviously, it would lead most to believe that we have the same individuals who are the suspects. But we are going to be working with the Cleveland Police Department and federal authorities to try to put a stop to this. But again, our message today is be smart. Use your heads, and don't be naive to the problems and the dangers you put yourself where you come in to a possible theft of your motorcycle by traveling to an area of which you are completely unfamiliar. Again, there are some things that individuals can do. First and foremost, there are places you can go, safetradestations.com. That's safetradestations.com, where you can find places to safely exchange goods. Also, suburban police stations. If you feel the need to come to Cuyahoga County, go to suburban safe trade spots at local police departments, including Shaker, Parma, Fairview, South Euclid, Valley View, North Randall, Middleburg, Richmond Heights, North Olmsted, Gates Mill, Strongsville. Use those police departments where you are not coming into an area where you are unfamiliar. But again, if somebody's telling you that they will pay you more to bring it to them, be leery. Second of all, again, this is something that people have to use their intellect and their experience on. If a deal sounds too good to be true, and again, many of these people are just at that point in their life, they need some money, they're trying to sell their goods, but if a deal sounds too good to be true, it probably is. Again, and I'm urging everyone, do not be naive. You control the exchange so that it ends well. Again, when you read the police reports that I've read the last several days, you know, oftentimes the victims are startled when the individuals ride away on their dirt bikes and they're never to be seen. And again, people who read police reports frequently probably think, how could they be so naive? Well, you know what? People coming from outside our community are not familiar with the behaviors of some in our community. So again, just beware. Use your safetradespots.com and just be smart when doing these type of exchanges. The motorcycles that were stolen this past weekend had values ranging from $6,300 to $9,000. These are expensive goods. So again, they have a great deal of marketability to the individuals who are stealing them. And I'm urging people to continue to just use their best judgment and avoid this situation. Any questions?
Yes, sir. Harry Boomer, Channel 19.
Yes, Harry.
Do you have any idea as to how many of these stolen ATVs and dirt bikes are being used on the streets of Cleveland to commit the kinds of things that we've been seeing?
Harry, my experience would be probably most of them, if not all. The reality is it's just another reason for when an officer attempts to stop one of these bikes, if in fact, in Cleveland particularly, they were actually trying to stop them. But nobody's going to want to pull over if they're driving a stolen motorcycle. You know, and so given that fact, it just adds to the urgency of those individuals who are riding it to flee from law enforcement. So I would suspect most of these vehicles that have been stolen, and again, this is just going back to January of 2020. This issue has been going on, and we're going to be doing more analysis on that, but you would suspect that many of these are being used. And again, what's going on in the city of Cleveland and the inner ring suburbs, it's destroying the quality of life, that people can't safely traverse down Kinsman or down Lee or down Broadway or down Denison or down Clark. And as we saw several weeks ago, they're going into Cleveland Heights. We saw last summer they drove into Fairview, they drove into Bay Village. So this is an issue that continues to grow, and it's growing, again, when it's being fed by 90 additional bikes and ATVs that are being put into the stream of stolen commerce by people unwittingly being taken advantage of with these false sales transactions. So again, I am doing this announcement today to try to educate people that there is a danger and a real issue if you're coming into the city of Cleveland to transact these sales. And again, I'm trying to stop these people from being victimized, and I'm also stopping these dirt bikes and ATVs adding to our existing problem.
I had a question just about the magnitude of it as well. You know, when you talked briefly about investigating these, how hard are these crimes to investigate, and how hard are these crimes to actually investigate, and has anyone actually been brought to justice yet for any of these?
There have been a couple of them. Well, I can say this. We are actively working with both local, and I've reached out to federal law enforcement. These transactions, as we just described, 33 of them are crossing state lines. They're using telecommunications equipment to conduct these, in effect, robberies. So we are, there is a federal nexus where we hope our federal law enforcement partners will join the effort to try to bring these people, to apprehend them and bring them to justice. You want to talk about arrest, Ryan?
There have been a few arrests in some of these cases. One of the issues becomes it can be a low-level felony just to do a single incident of stealing a bicycle. So law enforcement has made a few individual arrests, but as you can see, this issue has continued. So a wider network of persons responsible are still out there operating, at least as of this past weekend.
Mr. O'Malley, if I might, with all due respect, I don't want anyone coming to the city of Cleveland attempting to sell an item and be jacked. I'm more concerned about those of us who live in the city of Cleveland, who get jacked every day on the streets with those dirt bikes running up and down the streets.
No doubt.
Stopping traffic. Why are you concerned about this, people coming into the city of Cleveland, and from what I'm hearing today, not overly concerned about people who live in the city of Cleveland or in Cuyahoga?
Well, Harry, let me tell you, as a former city of Cleveland councilman, an individual who lived in the city of Cleveland for a long time, I'm extremely concerned. I have family and friends who live throughout the city of Cleveland. I can't control the Cleveland Police Department. As you know, it's destroying the quality of life within our community. I have friends who are moving from very nice homes because of the constant noise that they are enduring and unsafe traffic conditions that they are enduring because nobody is attempting to bring this problem under control. So, do I care about it? Hell yeah, I care about it. But I can't control the Cleveland Police Department. I can't force them to enforce basic traffic laws. But what I can do as a felony prosecutor, when I see felony crimes being committed, and I see people crossing state lines or coming into Cuyahoga County to be victimized, those felony offenses bring it into my, it's not no longer a simple misdemeanor traffic offense. Now you're bringing these charges are felonies. So that brings it into my domain. So let me just stress to you, Harry, that I care a great deal about it. When I see I-90 closed on a Sunday afternoon, I care about that. But I can't stop it. When I see a tourist attraction like the West Side Market on a Sunday afternoon being swarmed, where we have people coming from out of state to come get a taste of the city of Cleveland being swarmed by ATVs and dirt bikes, I care about that. I am hopeful that at some point all of our local police departments, and including the State Highway Patrol assisting them, take a very concerted effort to bring some sanity to this situation, because it does have to stop. People are going to be hurt. There's accidents. There was accidents that Sunday when the hundreds came from out of state even to participate in that mass ride. I, as the prosecutor, have a hard time understanding if people are coming from Detroit on that particular Sunday, how our intelligence community within our local law enforcement wasn't aware that it was going to occur. If people from Detroit know, I would hope that we would know. But again, I don't police local streets, and that's not my jurisdiction, but I can come here today to try to stop the problem of additional bikes being put into that chain where, you know, now we're gonna have, if this goes on at this pace, we'll have another 50 put in this year. And what's next year's ride look like, or the year after? I am hoping we have a change in policy that comes with the change in leadership, and we take this issue seriously. And not just, this isn't just the Cleveland problem. When they're driving in Brooklyn, that one accident 2 weeks ago or 3 weeks ago occurred in the city of Brooklyn. They're riding through Brooklyn, they're riding through Cleveland Heights, they're riding through South Euclid, they're riding through East Cleveland. So it's not just a Cleveland issue, but what it is, and it's an issue where all local law enforcement has to get together and as a team decide we have to bring our streets into safe control. And nobody wants any of these individuals to be hurt. But we don't want the people who are lawfully driving and occupying the roadways, we don't want them hurt either. So this is a small step, but it's a step in trying to add additional bikes and ATVs to that problem.
If you don't mind to pick up on what Harry was asking about there, we have evidence that officers actually have seen these riders committing crimes with guns, shooting in the air, putting the gun in their waistband. When an officer sees that, doesn't that officer have a duty to then take action when the officer witnesses it?
You know, I would hope if an officer saw felonious conduct that he would act. I think what we have here in the city is a situation where I've never seen a written order, but coming from individuals within the department, I have been told that there has been a direction not to attempt to apprehend these individuals. So does that mean that they sit on the sidelines? I mean, I would hope, again, if any officer sees felonious conduct, and discharging a weapon over a roadway is a felony, I would hope that that officer would take action and attempt to put a stop to it. But that requires two things. It requires the leadership of the police department to stand behind those officers who are attempting to lawfully stop that conduct. But it also takes this community understanding, too, that if an officer does try to make our community safe, that the community has to stand behind the officer, too. If he is doing his job as he is trained and within the confines and restrictions of the law, that he is doing his job lawfully, then we need, as a community, to stand behind it. I think what we have seen in the past is that officers right now are taking almost an approach of standing down, and it's, in my opinion, it's increasing the dangers within our community. And again, it comes with leadership from within the city, and it comes from leadership within the department, and it comes from all of us within this community to say, enough is enough, we're gonna stand behind it, and we need this problem to end.
90% of these transactions have been through Facebook. Does Facebook bear any responsibility?
You know, Facebook, would I love it if Facebook put a warning up and says, beware, people are being taken advantage of. Do not transport these things into areas where you're not going to be safe or where you're unfamiliar. I certainly wish Facebook would take that step to inform people who are selling merchandise, and again, any merchandise. But in particular, we see a problem with dirt bikes and ATVs. Yeah, I do wish they would take it. Do I think legally they bear any responsibility? Probably not. But do I think morally and ethically they should inform the people that use that marketplace as a way to transact business? Yeah, I think they should be warning people because I think it's the right thing to do. And I think we haven't seen it yet, but I can see a day where one of these type of incidents goes south and somebody's hurt or death results. So that is foreseeable to me. You know, we see robberies all the time in this community that go south and people lose their lives. So, yeah, I can see that happening.
Sir, what responsibility do you believe the community has? People know who own these bikes, where they're being stowed. What responsibility do we as citizens have to say, there are 3 in a garage down the street, you guys come look at them to see if they've been stolen? Right? As you say, enough is enough, and my estimation, enough is too much.
Harry, I feel your frustration. The problem is that, you know, you don't know by looking at a ATV. And there's people who bought and lawfully own ATVs in the city of Cleveland and may take them out to safe riding areas where the law permits. So, you know, we have to give those people the benefit of the doubt, which is what makes this problem so difficult. But if you're driving that vehicle on a public street, and as we all know, the vast majority of them unlicensed or they're recklessly doing wheelies, which is what we see every day. I saw it last night on the way home from work. I saw about 8 of them. 2 ATVs, a couple dirt bikes doing wheelies down Denison. I see it. You know, it's a difficult situation, Harry, and can people inform? Yeah, but it's really gonna be, the only way this problem is gonna be tackled, in my opinion, is if officers trying to safely and lawfully engage these individuals. As Ed has indicated, he's got probably video where they're driving by officers and our officers are ignoring the situation. We can't have that anymore, because if people know that they can, without fear, traverse all the streets. We see them downtown here. I've been walking down, I see them going down West 6th, I see them going down West 3rd in the middle of the day. I mean, if police aren't directed to engage them and put a stop to it, it's never gonna end, and I can tell you, it will only continue to get worse. So, again, my message is, be careful, use your head. And don't be a victim. Stop yourself from being a victim. Thank you.
Thank you.
I want to highlight this map though, just so everybody's aware. This spot may look like 2. That spot has actually had 25 thefts.
That was like Broadway and what, roughly?
Glazier, was it?
Glazer, probably Glazer.
Which spot was it?
Broadview and Glazier.
Obviously, these spots have 3. This one's got 10. That one's got 5. It's a problem. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, thanks, guys. Yeah, I have one spot, right, and that's the top out there, so. I got PDFs of, all these graphics and stuff. I tried to put them on a flash drive to hand out to you guys like I usually do, just we're having some computer network problems, so I'll Dropbox it and send an email with them, so that way you can get the, high resolution quality of it.
Thank you so much for that.
Okay, I'll just want to grab it. Yeah, so if you guys need anything else, let me know, but, thanks for coming, appreciate it. And have a safe ride back.
All right.
Thanks for at least attempting to stop all this. This is madness.
Yeah,
As
it
good as
certainly,
it lives here, this is absolute madness.
yeah, it certainly is, it really is.
How often do you see it here? Every day.
They come down my street, you know, Wood Street, long, I won't make them street.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
She is.
They were live streaming us that. I think our Facebook feed was out again.
It was, yeah, Facebook, you're outside waiting for you.
Facebook was not great, right?
It was eh. I was sitting on my computer. I was
That is like a halo coming on me. I was like, oh no, the light, it's coming for me. Ah. I'll grab your hand. Thank you so much. Just gonna step around this. I'm getting hanky. Oh, yes. Thank you, Ryan.
Yeah, no problem, Lex. Hey, Lex, I'll follow up with you later.
Yeah, about Facebook and Instagram.
Yep.
If we could fix it for next time.
Yeah, we'll follow up.
Okay. Anything for me?
No, I think we're good.
Okay. I'll do that. You got the sound.
Hey Kathy, we're all done here.